Hello everyone, this is Keith from Gaming Trend and Tabletop Throwdown, and I'm here with Anne-Marie from Fireside Games. And we are going to talk right now about the upcoming Star Trek Panic, which is kind of based on the Castle Panic series that has been very successful for you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of the variations in the line. We have Dead Panic and Munchkin Panic and now Star Trek Panic, all kind of upending some expectation you have of the Castle Panic system. So you have the concentric ring design and you track damage the same way, but you have something that with the variation that whatever the mix is, it really influences that panic world. And in this case, it's Star Trek. So of course with Star Trek, you have to have the Enterprise. So now you're trying to defend the Enterprise and complete 5 missions and have at least one section of the Enterprise intact to win the game.
Yeah, and let's just taking a look at that Enterprise. I mean, it looks pretty cool from all the different angles that we have there. So tell us a little bit about how the gameplay works. I can see that you already have a couple of enemies out on the field already.
Yeah, this is the starting setup. You have a Tholian, a Romulan battlecruiser, and a Klingon battlecruiser. And they start randomly in sections 1, 3, and 5. And so those are your beginning targets. And you pick one of the original Star Trek series characters. We've got all the major players, and they all have a special ability. So you're going to pick one of these characters to play and use their special ability while you're working together to defend the Enterprise. And instead of your color-coded cards, you're going to use cards that have different ranges. So now you have phasers, and your threats that are on the board are going to be firing at the shields and at the different parts of the Enterprise. And you're going to show the damage by using these little damage tokens. This is the damage token for the shield. And you'll indicate damage. So, oops, I'm sorry. You'll indicate the damage with those tokens, and you'll use these to affect the threats in the different areas of the board. So for example, if this Tholian were in the mid-range, well, I would need him to actually be in the mid-range front for me to be able to use this phaser. So it depends on what the facing of the Enterprise is, as well as whether it's short, mid, or long range. And you want to keep those at bay while you're completing these missions. And most of the missions are based on the original series episodes. This is the Trouble with Troubles. And this shows your mission timer. You're going to have 6 turns to be able to complete this mission. While this mission is in effect, you cannot trade cards. And then to complete the mission, you have to maneuver a Klingon ship into short range anywhere, any of the sectors, but short range. And then you have to commit division credits to complete the task. This is 2 command, 1 science, 1 engineering, and 1 medical. And when you do that, you're going to clear this, and then you get a reward. And the reward in this case is all uncloaked Klingon ships on the board take 1 damage.
So how many missions are included with the game?
20 missions are included, and you only have to complete 5 to win. But there are markers that go up as high as 10. So if you want to increase the difficulty of the game, you can go beyond the 5 missions and try to complete up to 10 of them.
Cool. And now you said about the direction of the ship. Are you able to change the direction?
That's right. That's one of the big changes here. So each turn, in addition to playing cards, you can maneuver the Enterprise, and it can be clockwise or clockwise, and you can also maneuver the ship forward. So when you do that, any of the threats that are in the forward facing will move in 1 space, and they'll be closer, although any threats that are out here will remain exactly where they were. So, and Sulu's ability allows you to maneuver the Enterprise twice on your turn, so that's a pretty cool ability.
coming out soon.
So, how many players is this?
It plays 2 to 6 players, or 1 to 6 players. There's
okay.
No, it's 2 to 6. Castle Panic is 1 to 6. You have a solo version of that, but because this is such team play with your special abilities, it plays. Oh no, I'm telling you the wrong thing. It is 1 to 6. We toyed with the idea with the team-based play of just having 2 to 6, but we were able to work out a solitaire version after all. So it is 1 to 6.
And do you have an idea when you expect this to be available?
Yeah, the distributors have it, and they're releasing to retailers starting Monday. There's not a hard street date, but you should expect to see it in stores next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I'm looking forward to this. It looks great, especially when the Enterprise looks like it's going to blow up. It really looks like it's going to blow up. Yeah, and I really like how you've integrated the theme, like the mechanics.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of great feedback on it.
And now we're here to talk about dastardly dirigibles, which is very difficult to pronounce 5 times very quickly, huh? So what's the objective of this game?
Well, the thematic objective is that you want to become the heir to Professor Hornswoggle's airship building factory. And the way that you do that is by building airships. And so we have one that's under construction here. You can see the guide mat. And each of the airships has 7 parts. You've got your nose cone, your lift engine, gondola front, gondola rear, drive engine, lift engine, and tail. And so you're trying to play these parts, and as you're doing that, you're trying to get the most of a single suit. So in this case, you can see I'm going for wrenches because I've got 3 wrenches here. If I can build and complete my airship, regardless of the suits that I build it out of, I'll get 2 points for each card in the suit that's most commonly used to build my ship. So in this case, if I were to finish this out, I would get 2 for 6 points for wrenches, and then 1 for my wild card. And the cool mechanic with this is that anytime you play a part of your airship, you force everyone else to play that same part to their airship. So that could screw them up. You know, if they have the perfect nose cone down for that suit that they're going for, and you force them to play another nose cone, that could wipe out what they're going for. And sometimes it shifts, and they decide, okay, you know, now I'm going to go for this other suit completely. So
there's a little bit of a take that mechanic.
Yeah.
To
Oh
it.
yeah. It's dastardly for a reason. Yeah, that's true. In fact, we have a handbook of Victorian insults on the back of the rule sheet. So you know you can really get dastardly with it. So it brings a lot of fun to the game. And there are also special cards like this transmutation. When an opponent plays an airship part, play this card and any airship part of your choice from your hand to your airship. So if you have this one, instead of someone messing you up, you can actually use it to your advantage and play a card that benefits you instead of hurting you. And I pulled this up from what we call the Emporium, and the Emporium is a number of cards equal to the number of players. And this is another place that you can draw. So on your turn, you're going to have 3 actions. You start by drawing up to a hand of 5 cards. Everyone has 5 cards. So you can draw from here, or you can draw from the Emporium. So you know what you're getting here, and this is a bit of a mystery. And then the 3 actions that you get are to play a card to your airship, possibly, you know, hurting or helping someone. You can also play one of these special cards on your turn. You can discard a card. So if I wanted to play this lift engine, and you know, it's got that wrench suit that I'm going for, maybe I have another lift engine in my hand, and I don't want anyone to force me to play that, I could discard it. That way I get it out of my hand, and I don't have to worry about getting caught with it. You can also swap 1 card from your hand with a card in the Emporium. You can also just replace the Emporium. So if I see you know, this one's got gears, and I can see that this player has 2 gears on their airship. I may want to just sweep this whole Emporium, discard everything, and then lay out 4 new cards and rebuild the Emporium so that I prevent one of my opponents from getting a card that's beneficial to them from that Emporium. So, and then you can always pass, and you go until someone completes an airship. You get 1 bonus point for being the first to complete it. If you complete it at all, you get a second bonus point. And then you play 3 rounds of completing airships. Whoever has the most points at the end is the heir to Professor Hornswoggle's airship building factory.
Very cool. How many players is this? You set it up for 4.
I set it up for 4. Yeah, it plays. Let me just verify with this. 2 to 5 players.
Okay. And takes under an hour, looks like.
Oh yeah, and about the first time you play it's probably 45 minutes, but then it's about 30 minutes. So
very cool.
And it's 1995. The street date is July 6th. So,
okay,
yeah.
So yeah, not very expensive, and it'll be out very shortly.
Exactly.
And we have one more game from Fireside here. It's called Here Kitty Kitty, which I'm not a fan of cats, but let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Here Kitty Kitty is a really fun cat collecting game. The idea is that there's a colony of cats in your neighborhood, and you want to be the person to gather the most cats onto your property. So everyone has a property that has a yard, a porch, and a house. For every cat you lure onto the porch, it'll be worth 3 points at the end of the game. If it's in the house, it's worth 5 points. And then there's also scoring based on the colors of the cats you get. For example, if you get 1 of each of the 4 different colors then on your property, then that's 5 bonus points. If you get the most of a single color, say the most orange and the most black, that's going to be 3 bonus points. If you get all of the cats in your house as 1 single color, say all black cats in the house, that's going to be 10 bonus points. So there are different things like that that give you kind of bonus points. So it's not just the placement, but also the combinations. So that kind of throws in, some different reasons for collecting different cats.
So how do you lure them in besides opening a sardine can?
Yeah, and that's one thing you could do. It's a can of tuna, actually. But on your turn, you have 2 actions. You can either move a cat, and that could be from the neighborhood onto your property. That would be one action. You can also play a card. You're going to have a hand of 3 cards in your hand, and you're going to play one of these purple cards. These are the standards. This is a collector. I can move all cats of a single color from my yard onto my porch. So you want to think about how to combine your movement with your card play, because I may want to spend some time getting all of one color cat onto my yard and then play this and be able to get a lot of benefit out of that. Although you have to be careful because there are also cards that negatively affect cats in the yard. So you have to be careful about when you play your card combos. This one is also a card you can play, Cat Burglar. Steal 1 cat of your choice from another player's house and put it in your house. So let's say this neighbor here has a cat in the house. I can steal that one and put it directly into my house. So they're down 5 points now, and I'm up 5 points. But if I am the player that this gets played on, I can play one of these blue cards. These are defensive cards, and they have different things that they can do. This one's land on your feet. I can play this at no action cost immediately after the draw-up phase of any player's turn to replace any cat removed from my property during the last turn. So even though they were able to steal this, I can play this when I'm drawing up to say, okay, I want to replace the cat that was stolen from my house. There are other cards that will block it through different actions, like collar and tag. I can play this at no action cost to prevent 1 cat from leaving my property when moved by an instant card or by another player. So, in this case, when this player was trying to steal this with Cat Burglar, I could play collar and tag, and now instead of going to this house, it'll just go into my yard.
Oh, okay. So there's some strategy to it besides just placing cats.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to really think through what's the best way to handle your standard cards, your defense cards, your movement, how it all works together. And as you're drawing up, so at the very end you're going to draw up to a full hand, and that's the 3 cards. You may encounter one of the red-rimmed cards, like this one, and those are called the instant cards. These you have to play immediately when you draw it. In this case, caterwauling, all players move 1 cat from their porch to their yard. So if I had a cat here, when this comes up, all the players with a cat on the porch have to move 1 into the yard. So those are the basics. You know, we have a lot of cat puns, and you know, a lot of this is really based on, you know, how it feels to own a cat. You know, and really cute art and clever puns and clever card play. A lot of people, you know, are attracted by the minis. These really cute minis. We've got 3 different poses, 4 different colors, and you know, some nice detail on those little cats. And they're surprised, you know, because of how whimsical the game looks, that there's actually a little bit of depth of gameplay here. So it's the first print run is already sold out, although we do have a few units here for sale at Origins that we had kind of pulled back. We didn't know it'd sell so well, but you know, we had some for Origins. And then the next print run will come in August.
Okay. And how much does this retail for?
$24.95.
And up to 4 players, 2 to 4? Or
It is. I'm always going to get stuck on this. Okay, it plays 3 to 6 players.
3 to 6.
Yeah. You don't really want to play with 2 players. There are some modifications if you want to, but it's a more random experience. We really recommend 3 to 6.
Cool. And about a half hour to play.
Yeah, about half hour.
Great. Well, thank you so much for showing me all of these games here.
Absolutely.